What if pulling away from people in your 70s isn't a personality change at all but the final result of decisions made decades earlier? Most people over 65 believe distancing themselves is just part of getting older. They tell themselves they're tired of drama, tired of noise, tired of explaining. But here's the mystery researchers keep uncovering. Social withdrawal after 70 is rarely a sudden choice. It's the end of a long cause and effect chain that quietly reshapes health, thinking, and even survival. And almost no one realizes what's been missing until connection feels exhausting. Here's an early clue. According to U.S. Census and CDC data, adults over 70 spend significantly less time with friends and non-household family than any other age group. This isn't just preference, it's pattern. And patterns don't appear overnight. To understand why so many people in their 70s begin distancing themselves, we have to rewind to the origins of the issue in early adulthood. In your 20s and 30s, social life feels automatic. Work creates contact, family obligations force interaction. Energy is high, tolerance is flexible. Research from the Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest-running studies on human happiness, shows that people rarely think consciously about maintaining relationships early in life. The cause is abundance. The effect is complacency. You assume connection will always be there, then come the changes that start quietly in the 40s. Work stress intensifies. Time feels scarce. Socializing becomes optional instead of essential. According to American Time Use Survey data, social time outside immediate family begins declining in midlife. This is where the first fracture forms. Relationships that aren't maintained weaken. The cause is prioritization. The effect doesn't hurt yet. In the 50s and 60s, health begins influencing social behavior. Hearing loss becomes more common. Energy fluctuates. Recovery from late nights slows. The National Institute on Aging reports that even mild hearing decline can increase social fatigue because conversations require more effort. But instead of addressing the cause, many people quietly avoid situations that feel draining. This avoidance feels rational. It's actually conditioning. Now comes the shift after 70 that most people ignore. The social environment changes faster than the individual expects. Friends retire, move, or pass away. Mobility declines. Driving feels stressful. According to the Health and Retirement Study, social networks shrink rapidly after age 70, not just because of loss, but because replacing connections becomes harder. The cause is reduced exposure. The effect is isolation that feels self-chosen, but isn't fully voluntary. This brings us to the 7 reasons distancing becomes common and why they build on each other. The first reason is social fatigue. Aging brains process noise, multitasking, and group dynamics more slowly. NIH research shows cognitive processing speed declines with age, even in healthy adults. The cause is neural efficiency loss. The effect is exhaustion after social events, leading people to opt out next time. The second reason is sensory strain. Hearing and vision changes make conversations frustrating. According to CDC data, untreated hearing loss is linked to social withdrawal and depression. The cause isn't disinterested effort. Avoidance feels easier than adaptation. The third reason is emotional filtering. By their 70s, many people have experienced loss, disappointment, or betrayal. Psychologists call this socio-emotional selectivity. You become more selective about who gets your energy. The benefit is fewer conflicts. The hidden risk is shrinking too far. The fourth reason is fear of vulnerability. Aging exposes limitations: physical, cognitive, financial. According to AARP surveys, many seniors avoid social situations because they don't want others to notice changes. The cause is self-protection. The effect is isolation disguised as independence. The fifth reason is routine collapse. Retirement removes daily structure. Without scheduled interaction, weeks pass quickly. Social life requires intentional effort now. The American Psychological Association notes that humans are less likely to initiate new relationships later in life due to fear of rejection. The cause is uncertainty, the effect is withdrawal. The sixth reason is grief accumulation. Loss compounds, friends disappear, spouses pass away. Each loss subtly trains the brain to avoid future pain. The cause is emotional self-defense. The effect is numbness mistaken for peace. The seventh reason is outdated advice. You've earned your quiet. At your age. Rest. These messages sound kind, but research shows reduced social engagement increases mortality risk. Studies led by Dr. Julianne Holt-Lunstad demonstrate that loneliness raises the risk of early death comparable to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. The danger is invisible until health declines. Here's the breaking point where distancing becomes visible. Missed invitations turn into no invitations. Phone calls stop. According to Medicare Link data, socially isolated seniors have higher rates of hospitalization and cognitive decline. This isn't coincidence, it's consequence. The fallout affects everything. Mental sharpness dulls. Motivation drops. Health worsens. Medical costs rise. Lifestyle narrows. What began as needing space becomes being alone. So, what do many seniors try? The failed fixes. Forcing themselves to attend large gatherings they hate, waiting for others to reach out, telling themselves loneliness is normal. These strategies ignore the real issue. Connection must change form, not disappear. Here's the twist most people never hear. After 70, quality of connection matters more than quantity, but it still requires action. Small, consistent social contact has measurable health benefits. Studies show even weekly meaningful interaction improves mood, cognition, and longevity. So what can you do today? 3 direct actions for people over 60. First, redesign socializing to fit your energy. Shorter visits, smaller groups, clearer boundaries. Second, address sensory issues like hearing early. Adaptation restores confidence. Third, schedule connection the same way you schedule appointments. Don't rely on motivation. Here's the clear warning based on evidence. Prolonged isolation accelerates physical and cognitive decline far faster than aging alone. And here's the open thought to carry into the next video. What if distancing isn't wisdom but an alarm your body and brain are sounding? If this spoke to you, like this video and share it with someone who's been pulling away lately, and subscribe for the next chapter, where we'll reveal how seniors rebuild meaningful connection after 70 without exhaustion or overwhelm.